What's up, guys? Happy Sunday. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Got for y'all a nice update in regards to Mortal Kombat 2, courtesy of Den of Geek. They actually have a Mortal Kombat 2 issue, magazine, if you will, with a bunch of discussion and quotes from the cast about MK2. In this video, kind of just focusing on what Karl Urban, our Johnny Cage, has to say about his role as Johnny in the film. I'm going to have the full article linked down below if you guys want to check it out, because again, we got a bunch of quotes from not just Johnny, but Jade, Katana. Also got for you guys some quotes from the writer of the script, Jeremy Slater, along with, I believe, one from Ed Boon in regards to him being shocked at certain people dying initially, though apparently they've been changed and that actually kind of made him relieved. And also the director of the movie. Now, in the midst of this article, they also give us two new, I guess you could say, looks at the film. We have Jade, yet again, staff it all. Then we have the director, Simon McQuoid, on set with, I believe, somebody in the background of one of these scenes that they were shooting. So, pretty exciting stuff. Also, another first look at, again, the magazine where this article is being taken from. And in particular, if you look closely, shout out to Dave Savage for pointing this out to me, we also see what appears to be some really interesting marking on Shao Kahn's chest. Now, I can't make out exactly what it is, but at first glance, I was convinced that this was Shinnok's amulet. Is it? Kind of looks like it, but also not at all. The shapes are a bit different, but nonetheless, some of the agenda for today. If you're excited to hear about some more Mortal Kombat 2 dropping May 2026, takes you a second. If you can, please drop a like on the video. I'm Team Mortal Kombat. Street Fighter Cast is taking shots. I'm Team Mortal Kombat. I'm Team Todd. With that said, let's break this stuff down. Let's have some fun, and let's get into it. So first things first, again, this article will be linked down below. And again, the magazine, I believe, is out and about already, but you can see here, Mortal Kombat 2 exclusive inside look at the best version of Mortal Kombat ever made for cinema. How's that for some hype? Goes on to say exclusive. Karl Urban, Adeline Rudolph, Taddy Gabrielle, Martin Ford, and more take us inside Mortal Kombat 2, a film which Urban describes as so magical that it needed to become a summer blockbuster. So again, check out the full article, because I'm not going to be reading everything in it, just what I think is worthy of discussing. So kicking things off, we have some quotes from our Johnny, Karl Urban. First things first, we have this quote from Karl Urban saying, "The thing that I most looked forward to doing was the classic nut punch." Urban says with a weary chuckle, Johnny Cage has got this great fight with Baraka. And a little spoiler, there may be a nut punch involved. It was a lot of fun to do, but also very tricky because it required an extraordinary degree of flexibility to pull off. The New Zealand actor, in fact, prepared meticulously with his stunt double, Gareth Hadfield, shout to him, for the day. We worked for months on basically stretching and training and developing the muscle set needed to be able to execute the nut punch correctly, and most importantly, not damage my nuts, aka myself. So yeah, and I believe this was the scene that people in attendance at New York Comic-Con back in October got to see, and the response from those in attendance was that the scene, you're seeing it here in the B-roll as well, was pretty fucking sick. Now going on, it says, "The scale of the production was as big, if not bigger, than anything that I worked on in Lord of the Rings," Urban observes. "When you walk onto the set of Edenia and it fills the largest soundstage at the Village Roadshow Studios in the Gold Coast, you see the quality of craftsmanship. You're under no illusions that you're in a film that's as big as it gets." So again, for people who think Mortal Kombat 2 did not get the love it deserves, the franchise not getting that support from WB, that quote hopefully changes your mind. That was awesome to read. It actually gave me goosebumps initially when I read this before hitting the record button. Excited to see just how beautiful all the sets in this film really are. Going on, though, we have this right here in regards to the release date being pushed back from 2025 to May of next year. The reality is, if we had opened up on the original October date, the next weekend would have been Halloween. There would have been a massive drop-off, and the perception was it might have had something to do with the film, and that couldn't be further from the truth. The studio recognized they really have a magical film here. It's tested through the roof. The response to the trailer has also been phenomenal, and they want to get some breathing space. So I was very happy with the move. So again, from all accounts, it seems like unanimously everybody, cast and crew, agree this movie was destined to be a summer blockbuster. I'm still of the mindset that the October date probably wouldn't be as bad as they assumed, especially because to a lot of people, Mortal Kombat kind of is like a Halloween IP. I even say that after just a couple weeks ago, we pointed out that if you walked into Walmart and saw like their Halloween Blu-ray DVD rack for the season, they had like a Mortal Kombat DVD collection there. So like, you know, it was either going to be Halloween or it was going to be summer. Really, there's no in between. So if we really want to see Mortal Kombat 3 and WB needs this to be a success, I really can't fault them for this being, again, a summer popcorn action blockbuster. Kinda is just what it is. Now, next up, we have some more quotes from our Johnny Cage. This time, though, in regards to Sonya Blade and Raiden, says Sonya and Raiden are the ones that find Johnny and bring him into the world of Mortal Kombat. So obviously, there's a massive culture shock and a headspin for Johnny, who suddenly comes out of the real world into a reality that blows his mind. And again, I believe his first fight in the movie is against Baraka, so they really set him up to be confused at first, but hopefully by the end of it, he's just right at home. Moving forward, here's another quote from Urban in regards to Johnny. Says the point where we find Johnny in this movie is very relatable to everybody because he's on the back foot in life. His career is in the tank, the world's forgotten about him, and he's at a real low point. His confidence has been knocked, and it is at this very juncture that he is called upon to be at his best and to use his skill set to defend Earthrealm. So, yeah, I think this story writes itself. It's going to be so awesome to see a washed-up Johnny Cage in the forefront defending Earthrealm from Shao Kahn and his goons. Now, the final quote that we do have from Urban is this right here, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy hearing me talk about it. Read it here. It says, I feel like I'm a caretaker for Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage is a legacy character, and by that I mean Johnny Cage and the roles of Kitana and Liu Kang have been played by other actors previously, and they will be played by other actors in generations to come. That's what is going to give it its longevity. The popularity of the games and what they mean to people is far greater than any one interpretation. That might be, but like a caffeinated kid with a roll of quarters, Urban and company seem ready to hit that continue button, and this game is only beginning. So, yeah, man. They know this is a very, very, very loved franchise. And I'm just glad that Carl Urban is our Johnny. Yeah, initially I was like, Ryan Reynolds. There's been some people who still are like, oh, he's too old. Nah, dude. I think, again, from everything we've heard, from what we've seen, I think this was the perfect casting choice, in my honest opinion. Now, next up is a, I believe, quote from the writer of the movie, Jeremy Slater. We got this right here. It says, what was so great about the first one was that it really showed what was working, what wasn't, and what the fans really responded to and loved. So we very much had our marching orders on this one. Slater says about what he found while coming into the project. He and director McCoy were especially taken by the prospect of expanding on the first film's universally praised Wuxia opening sequence, wherein legendary Hiroyuki Sanada Scorpion enters into a life-altering blood feud with Sub-Zero played by Joe Taslim, both of whom return in the sequel. Says the director, my goal was the next film to feel like a full feature version of the first film's opening scene. Let's just let it rip, Tater Chip, and swing for the fences in this one. And honestly, best thing they could have done, because, again, that intro to the first movie, MK 2021, iconic. Seeing that classic rivalry on the big stage, on the big screen, bro, they get it. They get it. So right here, again, we have another quote from Jeremy Slater. says the tricky thing is because it's Mortal Kombat, the fights are to the death, Slater points out. And that makes any tournament very complicated when you have a lot of good guys, a lot of bad guys, and are figuring out the calculus of who needs to fight who at what point in this movie. Who needs to survive and who is sadly not going to make it. Uh-oh, we're talking death in Mortal Kombat. And this is where we get this awesome quote from Boon, which kind of made me chuckle. It says, even Mortal Kombat co-creator Ed Boon was surprised by who died and who survived. While likening reading the various drafts to watching Game of Thrones, Boon cryptically smiles. There were some choices that they made and then later changed that I was really glad about. I was thinking, oh, I don't want to see this person die. So, confirmation that Boon has approved all the deaths in MK2 finally, at least. So, again, I guess that's a good thing that changes were made based on this quote from Boon. So, yeah, again, I just kind of zeroed in on everything Carl Urban, Johnny Cage had to say. The writer, the director, Boon. There's more quotes from Jade, from Katana, from Shao Kahn. And again, speaking of Shao Kahn, in those images right here, what is this on his chest? Shao Kahn with an interesting engraved marking. We do know the first movie had the Arcana. Is this an evolved version of that Arcana that he just happens to have or something? Is this what lets him merge the realms? I don't know. In the comments down below, what do y'all think this marking is on its chest? Because, yeah, it's pretty obvious when you zoom in. Again, a massive shout out to Dave Savage for pointing this out. But guys, that's all I got for y'all today. How you feeling about Mortal Kombat 2? I'm going to say it sells more at the box office than Street Fighter come 2026. I'm just going to say it. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I think MK2 is going to pull through. If you enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe for some more content like this on the channel. Till next time, been your host, Mint Dynasty. You guys, please take care, stay safe. Posted a video last night about the future of MK under Netflix Paramount banner. Go check that out if you haven't. Love y'all. See you in the next video. Peace.